Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds number 27. And so this is where I like to collect together all the new purchases that I've made over the past week, present it to you guys, hopefully turning you on to some new things and or giving you a little more info so that you can go out and explore these releases on your own. For my new music finds that I did, I have 5 new releases here. 3 new albums and 2 imports. So before we dive into all that though, if you are new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with New Music Finds, episode number 27. All right, so as always, I like to kick off with brand new releases that just came out. I've got 3 of those, and first up is George Lynch, Seamless. So it just came out August 20th. This is his first all-instrumental album. Now, he has put out some other instrumental releases, a couple EPs that he did in the past. He also had a compilation put together by a label, but it really wasn't an official thing. So this one here, though, is all brand new, original instrumental music that he has put together, which, you know, for an amazing guitar player that he is, it's kind of crazy that it has been as long as it's been within his career. I mean, 40 plus years. And it's the first time we are getting a full instrumental CD from the amazing George Lynch. Now, that being said, the mix of this, I have to question. It's really kind of dark and muddy, and I think the title to this, Seamless, is perfect in the sense that I almost can't distinguish one track from the other on here. I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm just saying that it doesn't allow for the sort of peaks and valleys or highs and lows within the songs really to register to distinguish one track from the other. And I'm hearing a lot of this throughout other music releases, so I'm not sure if this is just a new style, a new way to mix, or what this is, or whether this is from the label. But I'm hearing this sort of mixing on a number of albums that are coming out. I've said the same thing about the most recent couple LA Guns albums. This one here is doing it, so we'll have to wait and see. But it does sound good. It sounds like George Lynch, not quite the Dokken era Lynch that we know and love, but definitely closer in that vein than any other sort of experimental aspect that he has done throughout his career. So if you like George Lynch, I do recommend checking it out. All right, next up we've got Dream Theater, Train of Thought instrumental demos from 2003. Also came out on August 20th. It's the 3rd in the series of the Lost Not Forgotten archives that they've recently started doing, going through their archives and re-releasing things that came out only through Fan Club or their website or digitally, and then a bunch of new things are coming out along with it. Not a lot in the way of the packaging on these. They're all diggy packs, usually just that sort of a trifold thing. This one's got 7 tracks on it, and of course coming from their 7th studio album, Train of Thought. Really great though to hear it as just the instrumentals without the vocals on it. You can really focus on the music. Happens to be my favorite Dream Theater album, so to get these instrumental demos, I am super, super happy about. And the sound is great on that. Of course, everything though from Dream Theater has good sound on it, so you don't got to worry about that. All right, next up we've got Chrissie Hynde, Standing in the Doorway. Also came out on August 20th. 3rd solo album from the Pretenders frontwoman. You'd think with, you know, her career and being from the Pretenders and all of that, but at this point she's putting out solo albums and things, so, you know, more kudos to her. You can see the one there behind me, Stockholm, which is fantastic. If you have not checked out that solo album, I highly recommend it. It is so good. It's almost better than any Pretenders album. I know that's saying a lot right there, but I really, really like that solo album behind me. This one, on the other hand, not so much. But that being said, it's all Bob Dylan covers. So it's not her typical writing, the Pretenders. If you're expecting that, you're not going to get that. And it's very raw. It's like live in the studio sort of feel. You hear them bantering between the songs. getting into it. It's mostly acoustic guitar with some other piano and instrumentation and some percussion, but there's no drums, there's no full band aspect or anything like that. So that took me a little bit to get used to in this. What I do like about this though is that it's not the typical songs you'd expect. There are not the big Bob Dylan hits on, at least not ones that I know. Maybe if you grew up with Bob Dylan, you'd tell me something different here. But I like that. I'm fine with it. I prefer the deep cuts because at least that way I don't feel like I'm listening to a Bob Dylan album. I feel like I'm listening to Chrissie Hynde do interpretations of someone else's music. And there you go. It's got a booklet in it here. Yeah, so this has been out for like 4 months digitally, and it's just getting the CD issue here. So, you know, maybe you already know what I'm talking about here, but for me it was new. I held off on listening to the digital release of it because I was waiting for the CD one. Okay, so now we've got 2 imports here. Both of these came from Amazon Marketplace. So they're through Amazon, but they were third-party resellers who were importing these to get them in. Amazon has been back delayed on a lot of this stuff. And so first one up here, Mr. Big, Lean Into It 30th Anniversary Edition. And this one here is a monster. It is really, really cool. Of course, the album originally came out in 1991. It's their second studio album, but this release here is an MQA CD. It's a master quality authenticity release. I don't exactly know what all that means, but I do know that if you have a player that reads that, it is supposed to be of a much higher quality. Again, it's a thing that is sequenced into the disc itself that allows for the music to be played much broader, more like the SACDs and things like that as well. But it's a hybrid, so you can play it on your regular stereo, system. That's what I'm doing here. But it's the second disc on here that is really, really worth it. It's got outtakes, B-sides, acoustic versions, early tracks, demos. It's even got tracks that have the bass removed or the guitar removed, which is really quite cool. I didn't think I'd be into these, but you've got such amazing musicians in here. So you've got, Billy Sheehan. You want to really hear Billy Sheehan? Well, there's a track where the guitar has been removed and you can listen to him. And I think it's really meant so that a guitar player can come along and play in that. But I'm doing it in the reverse. I want to really hear Billy, or I really want to hear Paul Gilbert. And they've taken the bass out of it. So just a cool way to hear, different takes on these things. So yeah, different unique versions of this, and worth checking out. And check this booklet out here. It's what do you got? It's got some write-ups, some interviews and stuff that's in it. It's got some great photos, carries over the lyrics and stuff that are from the original and whatnot. But it's a good booklet. It's worth the information and what's going on within it and so forth. And then just all those extra tracks on that disc too, including those outtakes and B-sides. It's got Stop Messing Around, which was a really great track. Wild Wild Women, In Shadows, Strike Like Lightning, Love Makes You Strong. So a lot of cool non-album tracks. It's not just alternate versions and things like that, which makes that almost fun just to put that in as a disc and listen to it that way. All right, and then the last one here that I was really excited about, I wasn't expecting this, and I just got it in the mail today, so I've been listening to it and really enjoying it, is this here. Steve Howe, Homebrew number 7, came out back on July 30th, so this one's an import too. I've been trying different ways to get a hold of it in a reasonable price. I could order these things directly and pay $30 plus the shipping. It's not worth it like that. And I didn't really want to wait for the US version to come out whenever that's going to be. I don't know why there hasn't been one, but I did find a US import company, Import CDs. Some of you guys know them, that brought this in, and it was reasonably priced. I think I got it for under $20, so well worth it there. Now, this, of course, is the Yes Guitarist. This release here marks the 25th anniversary of the Homebrew series. So since the first one started, now typically the Homebrew releases are, the demo tracks of songs that became famous or were turned into bigger Yes and Asia and GTR, recordings and things of that nature. for this one here, it's done differently. All of the songs on here, there's 21 of them, have never been released in any way, shape, or form. So they never became other songs. These are truly unreleased songs, and you get to hear 21 demos of tracks that could have been Yes, that could have been Asia, that could have been something else done here. There's 4 with vocals and 17 instrumentals, and they span from 1978 all the way to 2016. Really good stuff. And like always, you get a great booklet with it where he goes into what, the instruments he played, and he's got a little bit of an explanation about every track. Lyrics are in here, just some cool photos and stuff to go along it, imagery and that sort of stuff. So very cool. If you are a Yes fan or a fan of Steve Howe, I do recommend this one. It's a very exciting listen in my opinion, and it just has that vibe. I mean, these could be Yes songs, they could have been Asia songs. So very good stuff there. And there you go. That is my new music finds for episode number 27. 5 great releases there. Not as many as I usually have, but some really strong ones in my opinion. Do check the description for links to related videos. In particular, I'll leave a link to my run through of my George Lynch 42 CD collection. This one here makes 43 now. And also to a Mr. Big box set called The Vault. It is a 22 disc box set. I'll leave both those links in there and you can check those out if you are interested. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, maybe please share it out on social media. Help spread the word that way for me as well. I would also really appreciate that. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.